afternoon. How you doing? We're here getting ready to do a biscotti class. One of the things about the biscotti here at Hearts Found is it's a soft biscotti because we don't twice bake it. Biscotti means twice baked, and so we're only going to do the once bake, and that's in the loaves, and then we'll slice it, and I'll get you into that direction after we've made the dough. Okay, first of all, I'm going to put in half a pound of butter. Okay, get my bowl set up, and I'm going to cream the butter and this is going to turn on. Cream the butter and the sugar. Now, when you're doing cookies, pretty much it's always going to be sugar and fat. Sugar and fat meaning either margarine, butter, Crisco, but it's always going to start off, most cookies start off that recipe. 2 cups of sugar and a half a pound of butter. Next, I'm going to add the eggs after I see that I've creamed my sugar. What you want to do when you cream your sugar is make sure that you don't really taste a lot of granules from the sugar. If you taste a lot of granules, let it cream a little bit more. All right, so right now I've stopped the mixer, and it's very important when you're doing baking for incorporating all your ingredients is to stop your mixer, scrape down, and make sure that you're getting all the ingredients incorporated exactly. Okay? All right. Next, I'm going to add 3 eggs, basically just one at a time so I can incorporate. It's very important to incorporate the eggs. The egg part of the recipe is the protein that gives you the structure. Okay, I'm going to incorporate. All right, so now I'm going to stop the mixer again. Going back to that most important step of scraping down so that all of your ingredients are distributed equally and you make a very good batter. Going back to this. All right, next I'm going to add 4 cups of flour. I'm going to add them one at a time and keep the mixer on low so that I don't wear it and neither does my filmmaker. Okay, this is the last cup of flour and I want to add it slowly. Make sure it all gets incorporated. There we go. Okay, once again, I'm going to stop the mixer so that I can incorporate all my ingredients because I'm doing different ingredients at every step. And I want to make sure that it gets totally mixed together. That's one of the most important things in baking. You know the old expression, cooking is an art, baking is a science.
Say that one more time.
Okay, cooking is an art, baking is a science. Okay, the next thing I'm going to add is my flavoring. And that's 4 teaspoons of almond extract. And when you add the almond extract, from where I'm standing, I can smell the almonds coming up. Next, I'm going to add 3 ounces of sliced with skin on almonds. Okay. Turn that mixer on. And right now, I have finished this recipe. I want to just add one thing. That before I added the almond, okay, and the almond extract would be the part of the recipe where your creative juices as a chef come in. If I want to make a lemon biscotti, I would add a little bit of lemon extract and yellow food coloring. If I wanted to make chocolate, I would put 2 tablespoons of cocoa mixed with the flour and sift that together. So the cocoa gets sifted very nicely and incorporates very well. And I could add some dark maraschino cherries like these right here. Take the juice off and put them in the batter so they get crushed up. And that way they'll get the full flavor of the cherries. I might add a little bit of juice. The other flavor that I do is coconut, where I'll add coconut extract and toasted coconut into the batter. Okay, so those are just a couple ideas. Like I said, with you being the chef on the other side and playing with this recipe, it's I give you the foundation and then you take it off from there. So right now I've got the cookie batter already made. It's nice and it pulls away from the side that tells me all the ingredients were incorporated very well. Now I'm going to take a little bit of flour, just a little bit. You remember flour can be the enemy of the baker whenever they're dusting their table. Okay, now I'm going to take this whole program and dump it on to the table, to my working surface. And I'll put this over here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm rolling the biscotti into a log. Okay, out of this particular recipe, and it doesn't have, and I'm putting some more flour down, just a little bit. Okay. It depends on what size you're making. The good thing about this particular recipe is that if it's the holiday seasons, you can make little biscottis. And I'll explain that when I cut a biscotti. Normally, I'm going to divide this recipe into 4, and I'll make 4 different loaves. Okay, so we're going to go and divide it in half first, divide it in half second. Now, if I was making holiday biscottis, I could take this one right here and divide it into that. So long as you keep going back to the log. It's important you go to the log, okay? I don't want to do that right now because the only holiday we're celebrating right now is in shelter, okay? So, and I'm going to finish these. I'm going to make 4 of them. We'll make 4 logs. After you bake them, they can be frozen. Individually wrap them after they've cooled off and double wrap them. And you can put them in a bag if you want, a food storage bag, and then that way you can save it for another day. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll these out. And I'm doing about 2 hands width if you want to know the size. Okay? Shape it into a log. Put it on my parchment paper. Do another one. Like I said, this recipe is something you can be very versatile with. It's almost like a quiche recipe where you have a bunch of quiches, flavors out of one, which we'll be doing on Mother's Day. With some, I'm going to show you how to do some pastry swans so that you can decorate your pastry tray for the mom. Okay? Once again, about 2 hands width. Go to my parchment. Then I'm going to smash it. Not all the way down. Scoot it over a little bit. Smash it. And then what I'm going to do is, if you have a pastry brush, you can do it easy with a pastry brush. But you want to just put some milk down on the top. If anybody's lactose worried about this, then you can use water. Okay?
You could probably do almond milk.
Yeah, you can. Anything, you can do anything. You know, it's like I say, you know, there's so many things out there these days that can complement the final product that you're doing. And that was a good idea. You could do almond milk on top of these. Next, I'm going to sprinkle my garnish. This is almond biscotti, so I'm going to make regular almonds. Now, you don't really want to worry about if you're going to put too much on there or not, because what's going to happen is the almonds that are spilled off to the side, you can save for your next recipe, or you can eat them too, but you want to save them for the next recipe because that way it'll incorporate more flavor into your next batch. Okay, so now I'm going to put these in the oven for at 350 for 20 minutes, and I'm going to check it at 20 minutes. And maybe it'll take maybe 20 to 25 minutes. But I will show you the final product and the exact time when it comes out. Okay, this has been 20 minutes and it's just about ready. I'm going to put it in for 2 more minutes. What is going to happen is it's going to get a little, it'll puff up and get firm, and then it'll get brown around the edges. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more minutes and I'll be happy with this product. So right now, that's been 23 minutes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little secret to stop the cooking of the biscotti. Okay, what you're going to do is take that parchment paper, hold your pan up here, and slide it off there. You can slide it off onto anything, a counter in the kitchen, a screen. Sometimes I don't like the screens because you need a solid backing. But right now, it's not on the hot pan, so it's not cooking. So I've stopped the cooking process, and those are beautiful. We have done our biscotti, and we've let it cool down, and I'm going to show you how to cut it. Traditionally, a biscotti is cut on a bias. Everybody recognizes a biscotti because of the bias cut. What I want to do first is cut one for the chef, okay? And then about fingers width, I want to cut the rest of them. Now at this time right here would be the time that I would put them on a cookie sheet, spread them, space them out like this, and make a true biscotti. I've had more luck with keeping them soft and more feedback on it. So that's the only reason that I don't do a biscotti. Now we're going to put this on a tray, and we get down to the end, and this is one for the producer. Okay?
Yay!
And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put them on a cookie tray to make a presentation out of it. And remember what I said about different flavors and different colors in your dough helps you to make a better presentation, because this adds height, okay? Lean it up against something and you've added height to your presentation. Height and color are one of the 2 things that presentation helps you with, okay? So we have that.